This is a No and Go Storm Alert. Here's Jonathan O.
I'm meteorologist Jonathan O with a No and Go Storm Alert. We've been talking about these storm alerts for quite a few times now. The past week was relatively quiet, but now we're back on storm alert mode, especially as we head toward the middle of this week. We're already under a storm warning area for those of us in the Kanto-Koshin region for the southern areas, and I'll show you the reason why by taking a look at the tropical tracker. If you notice, this is the track for Shanshan. Now, just the other weekend, we were following another typhoon that was rolling through the area, and that made landfall toward the central portions of Japan. This storm looks like it's going to be making more of an eastern Japan landfall as we go later on this week. So here's a look at the track here. The storm warning area is not visible in this particular tropical tracker, but it does cover areas even into the Tokai region, Tokai into the southern portions of the Kanto-Koshin region extending back down. So the Izu Islands also contained within this. Strong Typhoon Shanshan is expected to get just a little bit stronger, not necessarily strong enough to move up to the next category when it comes to the typhoon rating. Nevertheless, it's still expected to bring a decent amount of strong winds and heavy rainfall. The storm is, once again, this is similar to the previous typhoon that we were also keeping an eye on. This storm is making a northwesterly path as opposed to a northeasterly path that's near Japan. I mean, we usually talk about typhoons coming out of Okinawa and moving its way along the coast of Japan, the Pacific coast of Japan, on its way out to the open waters. But this storm, once again, just like the previous one, is moving toward the north and west and then expects to make a turn. So let me break this down for you. We go into the 9 o'clock hour Monday night, Tuesday night, into Wednesday night. Now, Wednesday night is going to be pretty important. For those of you in the Izu Islands, you're going to be likely feeling the impact of this. And given the fact that the circle of concern is encircling all the Izu Islands and not particularly large, you will likely see the impacts of this during the day on Wednesday. So you want to make sure you're prepared for that. We go into Thursday, and it looks like that for the moment, the central portion of the circle of concern is zeroing in on the Tokyo Bay area. So between Chiba and Tokyo is where we're looking for the central portion of the system, the central circulation, to be moving through. And then by the time we go from Thursday into Friday, expecting to make a hard turn out towards sea. Let me put a little caveat here. Given the fact that the circle of concern is as large as and as far north as Hokkaido, there's a lot of uncertainty. And so for those of you who are looking toward weekend plans, by the end of this week, you need to pay attention to the forecast and wait, because as we go forward, we are going to be seeing likely adjustments to this forecast. In fact, already, compared to what I was seeing at the end of last week, where the circle of concern was literally containing most of Honshu all the way into Hokkaido, we're going to be seeing things likely adjusting as we move forward in time. Here's just one forecast as we take a look at the Storm Alert Futurecast computer model. This is the GFS model. And this is starting late Sunday, and you may notice already the wind streams extending far out from the central portion of the circulation. So this is a pretty big deal here. And let me move forward in time here. As this system moves through Monday, Tuesday, the Izu Islands right there, Wednesday, and then by Thursday making the hard turn toward the north and east. This particular model has Shanshan moving a little bit further toward the west, which is still within the circle of concern for JMA's tropical tracker. So it's well within the possibility, but there's also the possibility it could go slip a little bit further out toward Chiba and even off the coast of Chiba. And that is really the best case scenario because of the fact that it will bring the minimal impact when it comes to the strongest side of the storm being off the coast and moving out toward the waters. But for the moment, it looks like the system, according to JMA, is likely to make landfall somewhere between Tokai and Chiba sometime late Thursday. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that, and we'll be keeping you posted as we go forward through the forecast. So obviously the forecast itself is significantly different than the last No and Go update that I brought to you last Friday. we're talking about rain. Now, Monday, we're seeing rain from a different system that's not related to the typhoon. But Monday into Tuesday, we'll be seeing the showers moving through and temperatures dropping off from 35 on Monday to 28 on Tuesday. So that's a bit of a cool off as we go forward in time. So if you really are tired of the above average temperatures, the hot, humid weather, it's going to be a little bit better. I mean, it's still going to feel sticky outside, but at least it won't be nearly as hot. For Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday, we'll see highs in the upper 20s to low 30s. Then we go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Once we see the typhoon clearing out of here, we should see the weather in terms of sunny skies return. Some clouds, some sun. And the highs should still be relatively normal for this time of year. 34 on Friday, 32 on Saturday and Sunday. So we should be seeing the weather improving in terms of not seeing temperatures ridiculously hot as we head toward the end of this week. So just keep in mind, right now we're under a storm warning area based on the forecast track for those of us along the Pacific coastline extending from portion of the Tokai region through the Kanto-Koshin region. That also extends through Shizuoka, also into Kanagawa Prefecture and into Chiba Prefectures, and that will change as we go through today, Monday, as the forecast gets closer and closer when it comes to landfall possibilities. But you'll need your umbrellas and be looking forward to slightly cooler weather as we go through the first part of this week. So this has been a no-go storm alert. I'm meteorologist Jonathan O reporting to you from Tokyo.